Yes, indeed. We are here. We are here. We are now. We are live. We are doing all the things. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, as they say at the circus. Microphone's loose. Gotta tighten that shit up. We got a big show today. Joey A, Big White Lights. Got a new single dropping tomorrow. We're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more on today's program. Super excited. Hashtag Joey A is my homeboy. C-Dub's back in the house for show. How you been? How are things over there in Malaysia? Hope they are well. It's been a while since you've been on here. We've been jamming out. We got new stuff, man. We're making things happen. There we go. We making things happen. Captain Coop's Beard Company proudly brings you Cooperville Live. Wah, 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 wah. For all your beard needs, keep it sassle-frassle. Sassy-frassy. City's under lockdown. That sucks, man. But you can still be on the internet, so there's that. That's a good thing. Looking for that silver lining. Jody, how you doing? Good to see you. I knew you'd be on here with Joey in the house. You knew it. We did add a bunch of new items to CoopervilleClothing.com today. Ladies' tees. We got a new hoodie in there, a new snapback, a bunch of stuff. You gotta check that out. CoopervilleClothing.com is the website. That's my brand, and we actually just are working on, or just sent in a bunch of new shirts that we're going to have come out over the course of the next couple weeks. Big thanks out to Joey Walzer, Blake Allison, Devour the Day, Egypt Central, A Window In, and of course the fine folks that bring us all this fantastic music on the show from Ready Waves. If you have a stream, you're a streamer and you need copyright-free, high-quality music for that stream. You don't want to get shut down by the robots. ReadyWaves.com is the website. Go and check them out. My boys are doing good things. They're doing so many things. And they're proud partners of Cooperville Clothing. So, super dope, super excited, ready to go. Yeah, there we are. Now we're live and in color. We're in kind of a blue tint today. We changed the light color in here. It's a little blue. That's all right, though. So wherever you're watching the show today, thank you so much for being on Twitch. Thank you to all my Twitch followers. We're this close on Twitch to being affiliate, which I think we get like 12 cents a stream then. So I feel like when we do that, we're going to break the bank. Link to the website. C-Dubs, yeah, I'll see if I can post it. I'll post it on the Twitch thing. I don't think I can post on here. Maybe I can. Let me try over here. Let me try it over on this screen over here. See if I can bust this out. www. Like, nobody says www dot anymore. But, CoopervilleClothing.com. Let's see if this pops up and populates the chat. Because we're not actually... There we go. That did. How about that? A boom pow. 12 cents a stream if we get to affiliate, Jody. Then you will be doing my taxes. Because you'd be like, you made 47 cents this year. I kid. I kid because I can. C-Dubs in the house following on the Twitch. Yes. And if you watch on YouTube, we just posted the link to our Patreon. There's another 12 cents an episode. We got a bunch of stuff, man. We got a whole bunch of stuff. We also have we got the clothing, and we got the Beard Company. We got C4 Productions. We just shot 2 new episodes of Chipwa Chats today, which will be coming out over the course of the next few weeks. That has been super fun, getting to travel around the area and talk to different business owners and really encourage people to get back out because, of course, as you know, Chipwa County is wide open for business. So that was fun, super dope. You still should be. I told you, Jody, 12 cents a pop. 12 cents a pop. I think I can bring comments in over on this screen, though, because you can see my cursor on this one because this is a screen share. So let's see. We can do that. Yeah, it pops up like that. There we go. I should still be doing your taxes. 12 cents. How much do I get back? It's just enough to keep the internet running at a decent pace so that the stream doesn't cut out. I need to adjust these lights a little bit. Hang on. I got this fancy thing. It's Elgato. My Elgato key lights. Maybe they'll connect. Maybe they won't. We're using a lot of bandwidth on the stream today. Oh, that's why. But yeah, great show yesterday. If you missed yesterday, it was awesome. Shelby Lee Lowe was a great conversation. I did a little acoustic jam of his latest song called "Just Don't." That's awesome. That is posted on the Twitch page and on our YouTube as well. So go and check that out. There we go. Now we got some lighting. Let's see if we can't de-blue myself a little bit. I was feeling so blue. That's a little brighter. Let's do this. That's a little bit different. Yeah. Whatever. Boom. Ooh, there we go. Now we're cooking with gasoline, people. Now we're cooking with gas. A little more tone in that Irish skin today. That's nice. Those are our lights. They're here and there. Here and there and all around the square. So yeah, 2 new episodes of Chippewa Chats coming out. If you're looking for those, go.chippewa County on Facebook and also on YouTube. So we have 2 episodes that are posted. We have another one that's dropping tomorrow. That was a fun trip up to Bloomer for Bohemian Ovens. And then another episode, like 1 episode a week for like the foreseeable future. So that's super cool. So looking forward to another episode of that. So we have so much stuff going on. So many things happening. So many things happening in the world. But regardless of all that, today is exciting because we get to talk to Joey A. and Big White Light about a new song, a new video, which I was blessed enough to get a chance to see. I got to turn my headphones up here too. There we go. I'm tired of hearing myself like I'm in the next room. But the new video, Joey's new video, is just amazing. It's so amazing. It's so deep. It's so right up my alley. I just love it. I love it so much. I can't wait to talk to him about putting that together and really what he was up to. I was trying to figure out the last time. I think we had him on several months ago. We were chatting just about things and the pandemic and releasing new music. So it was crazy stuff. So looking forward to catching up with him and getting set for his release of A Dream from Big White Light. Joey A. and crew will be on the show here in just a bit. What else is happening in the lovely world today? We talked about yesterday. Trump's back on the social media, got his own social media site, so there's that. That's big news. What else is happening? I don't know. I've been detached. When you're so focused on things, and this is another great thing that I know Joey like totally 100% gets, is when you're like totally in your zone, when you're in your spot and you're just cranking things out. Like today we did 5 t-shirt designs today and shot 2 videos, and the hell else did we do? Prepped a bunch of stuff for Captain Coops. Like when you're in that zone, like the rest of the world around you like is non-existent. So I'm like, what happened today? I'm like, I don't really know. I did those 5 things, and that took up the majority of my day. It's being in the zone, man. That's having that focus. Tunnel vision shit. That's what that is. Speaking of tunnel vision shit, this handsome fellow right here, back on the show. I know he's just juiced. He's juiced because tomorrow, actually probably at midnight tonight, he's got a new song dropping with Big White Light. Joey A. in the house. My brother, how you doing?
Coop, what's up, baby?
Dude, you looking svelte. Got like the second album Rob Thomas haircut going on here. It's like Matchbox 20, okay. The Bent album.
Dude, it's funny because I cut it really short when we were doing Big White Light. I was like, I need an imperial haircut. I need to look like Julius Caesar. we cut the hair, and then now that the hair's growing out and it's really bad, we've decided that I look like Al Pacino in Scarface.
That's it. There it is.
So
Say hello to my little friend.
Look, my little friend.
That's you. I like it, dude. I think it's a look you can pull off. I mean, I wrote Rob Thomas on it, but I mean the Pacino thing now, that makes so much more sense.
Dude, I'll take either one of them.
How you doing, brother?
I'm
Besides
good.
the Imperial thing going on, I mean, how are things?
Everything's good, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm stoked to be on, and I'm really proud of you for everything that you're doing, man. The clothing line, that's awesome. I'm going to support for sure. I'm going to get some swag.
Yeah, we just dropped a bunch of new stuff today on it. You know, it's you mentioned something in our conversations before it led up to today's conversation, and we were talking about the video because you sent me a copy, and it's fucking mind blowing. We'll talk more about it. But you said something about like when you're in the room, and you got the blinders on, you're doing your thing, you're like solely focused on what you have, what you're creating. Like nothing else exists. And that's what it's been like. I know for you in putting this together and all the other projects that you're working on, you're so, as much as we're in tune with what's going on, whether that's via social media or, you know, people who still watch the news and stuff like that. But when you're like in a creative space, like everything else is so far off in the distance, you don't even pay attention to it. That's what happened with this show, with the clothing line, with Captain Coops, with the C4 Productions. It's just been like locked and loaded, like just locked on everything.
Absolutely. I totally resonate with that. Like, yeah, I think there's something really beautiful. Like I'm kind of like, I was talking to my buddy yesterday. It's like I'm kind of like a shark. I got to keep swimming.
Mm-hmm.
And if when I'm in the creative, it's when I feel most alive because I'm kind of not sitting with me, with like little Joey in my head going like, hey man, what is this whole life thing about? You know, when I get to be creative, excuse me, I just feel the most alive because I'm free of like the chatter, you know. It's an escape. It's an escape, but it's like so beneficial. Like everyone involved wins. It's a win-win for everyone involved. So I feel that, man. I mean, I feel like I didn't even feel winter here. It's back to like summer again because I was finishing the project. So I was just like in the lab the whole time. And it's almost like a form of denial, I guess.
That didn't really, none of that really happened. It was all.
It didn't exist. It doesn't exist. Yeah.
Right. No, same way. And I love the lab reference because I was just thinking that while you were talking. I'm like, it is so Eminem, back to the lab again, yo. Because when you're in there, when you're in that space, when I get down here into the studio and I work on everything down here, like time is a non-existent factor. Like I have to set reminders or have that calendar set on my phone. Like, by the way, you have to go and, you know, eat lunch, you know, like maybe you should go up and see the sunshine for a second. But when you're in that space, like nothing else, time is non-existent. The world, I'm pretty sure the world is still circulating on its axis for the most part, maybe, but it's so you're in a zone that is your own space, your own, you know, even the shit like you talked about, the voices in your head and the clutter and the clam and the like the memories and then the forecasting of the future and stuff. None of that is like real because you are so like, I mean, that is ultimate being present. And I love that space. That is a great space to be in.
I think it's where, I think the Japanese has a word called gemba. It's like, it's the ground, I'll probably butcher this, but like the ground floor, like the factory where everything really happens. Everything else is kind of minutia, and everything else is kind of static, but where it really happens, like the place in which the creativity flows, you have to be like open to it. You know what I mean? You have to sit in the chair. Even when you don't want to do it, you got to sit in the chair.
Yeah.
Like that book, War of Art Changed My Life by Stephen Pressfield. I read it every time. If you haven't read it, let me know. I'll send you a copy. I want to give that book to all of my friends all the time. Because just like get your ass in the chair and just do the work. The muse will reward you if you sit down.
No, I haven't read the book. I do. I know I've read portions of it. I think they have and it's probably not them. It's probably somebody who's monetizing off of it. But they have like an Instagram page that they do a quote from the book.
Send me your address after this. I'll send it to you.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate that. But it's, you know, I think when you're out amongst the world, if you're, you know, just like strolling amongst the streets and being part of the general populace as much as you can, especially over the course of the last year, you are so far away from being in that chair. you almost forget that it exists. Like you if you go out and you're doing the, I don't want to call it the mundane, because I mean there's purpose to everything, but if you're just kind of milling about your day, whether that's going to a job or whether that's just kind of going out and being part of society in some sort of exponential way, where you're just like, I'm here amongst the ants and we're all marching in place and we're all kind of going up the hill and I got to pick this up and carry it. Like if you're just part of that, like that existence of a chair is a non-reality. But when you're in it, not only is that a great place for creativity, but that is a great place to be observant of the ants in the world. And you go, wow, I was out there. I was crawling amongst the ants and we were just all going into the anthill and we were just all being subservient. But man, the chair, man.
Something magic happens there. Yeah. Something magic happens when like there's this instant escape. It's like the only place I really feel like I'm able to, it's like just an expression. Mm-hmm. It's like a paintbrush. It's like you just like dipping the paintbrush into like different colored paints and like you're able to make a big wide, like a broad stroke before we go or whatever. Cause like life is so short. Yeah. And nothing's promised. So it's like that's what I kind of like looked over the last couple of years. I've kind of like looked inside and been like, why do I do it? Like, why am I doing it? Why do I kind of have these really drastic ups and really, really hard downs? I think it's just part of the creative thing. I think men, like I think as men, we can't have, it's like a theory, I guess, that I have, but like we can't have kids. So this is the closest thing. We don't actually bring children into the world. So maybe this is like the closest thing we have to like birthing something. It's like making shit,
Yeah. I think that's probably as accurate as of analogy as you can get, because we not having that capability and not, I don't think necessarily like that factor, but some sort of innate like internal sense of like, I have to build this thing.
Do my part.
Yeah. Like
I got to do my part. Like I got to do something. I got to give it meaning.
Yeah. Ladies out there making all the people. They're making all the people. Every person. All ladies making all the people. And we're like, we should do something to contribute here. Like we need to have.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just want to be useful. Like I got to contribute.
Yeah.
Like what could I do? You know what I mean? Like, can I get the wood for the fire? Like what could I do? You know,
hunter gatherer stuff. Yeah. Like, go and
straight up,
kill the animal and make the meal and clothe the family and all that stuff. That hunter gatherer stuff. That old school. How we used to roam about the earth.
Ribeyes.
Before the internet, we were making ribeyes, man. It was good times. Yeah. Good times. Oh, the past. But it's I had you on a while ago and we were kind of mid pandemic, I think, and we were talking about some of the the challenges that you were facing and the challenges that I was facing during all this. But it from the sounds of things, like when you talk about winter not being this thing that just kind of happened outside of your peripheral vision because you were so focused on stuff, it seems like utilizing the time that was available because of the lack of things that were out near the anthill, you really got a chance to grind it out in a very productive, creative way.
I think so. And I think you and I both, we resonate on this. Like, I think we started talking and we met each other like at the beginning of the pandemic. And then there was like a nice little arc there, like over the course of a year where like, I think you and I tripled down on ourselves and came out stronger men.
Yeah. There's something to be said. I just had this conversation today, actually, with my girlfriend. We were talking about, the importance of investing in yourself. There's obviously investing in financially investing in things, and I think there's an aspect of that. If you have something that you are passionate about, you should invest in that. But the investment in yourself when it comes to reading a book like the War of Art, or I just got done reading the Four Agreements a couple of weeks ago, and then read it and then listened to the audiobook because that's really how things shake with me. But that whole self investment is. Sometimes it's really hard for people to grasp, what do you mean invest in myself? Well, there's obviously you're a guy that takes care of yourself, physically, and you get out and you get after it and you hit the gym. We were talking this morning. I'm like, I'll hit you back with my logos. I'm going to go for a run. And I'll hit you back with this image because I'm going to go hit the gym. So that's obviously a huge investment in yourself and your health and obviously eating well and all that stuff. But
For sure.
to go to a place where you are, whether it's reading or whether it's doing something creative or watching something educational where you're like, I just learned how to do this now, you know, from a producer standpoint, you know, for you, like I learned how to add this element into my arsenal. That was how a lot of time was spent for me. And I know for you during the pandemic was like, how do I come out of this? And I air quote, get back to normal because, well, but to utilize the time in a positive way because of all the negativity that was out there and all the downtrodden and the dirty, and it's so bad and it sucks so much. Like, why? Well, you have been given this golden opportunity to do one of two things: sit on your couch and watch Netflix. Which, I mean, there's been times. I mean, who didn't watch Tiger King?
Right.
I mean, maybe we shouldn't have, but.
Right.
But to utilize the time that you had, this freedom that you had to go, okay, well, during this time, I'm going to come out on the other side with just guns blazing. Like, here we go. Like, bring on the armies because I'm ready to fire at will.
Absolutely. I think, I mean, if we're not, you know, this for me, I know it has been such a tough year for people. So I say this with grace, but it's been the best year of my life because I've really had a moment to, like step off of the treadmill, you know, of like life. I was just able to step off of the hamster wheel and like really start to double, triple down on myself. And it's kind of cool that you were saying like how dark it can be. That's the whole point of Big White Light. Yeah. The concept came to me like way before, like a few years ago. And I never really understood like where to go with it. Like I was like, is it an alternative band? Is it like this alt pop thing? And then, it's weird because I learned, like, I got on the road really young, and then I was down in Nashville, and I learned the story in Nashville, how to write lyric, because I was writing country music and all this and that. And then I moved to LA, and then I learned the packaging and the branding and the surface aspect, like kind of the product aspect.
Right.
So I say I learned the story and the lyric in Nashville. I learned the aesthetic in LA, and then when I came back to Cleveland for the pandemic, it's my heart. Like back here is my heart. And I started writing. I was writing. I sent you Sheep today, that other tune, which will be the next one out. And I was playing this riff, which is a riff I had written in my old band Mouthwired Shut, a heavy band. And I was like, dude, it would be really cool to make like a heavy project because the pandemic made me think if I was going to die tomorrow or everyone I knew was going to die tomorrow, like what would I want to do? Yep. So then I did this because I was like, this is who I really am. You know, this is what I do. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going off on a tangent, but that's the whole idea. Like the idea with Big White Light is like, it can be such a dark place, and we don't want Big White Light to almost be, Big White Light is not me. It's like, we are Big White Light. It's something, it's bigger. It's almost like it's like a positive version of Project Mayhem from Fight Club. Yeah, like a light, like raising public awareness, consciousness, elevating, not to use the word woke because it's kind of lame, but like, you know what I mean? Kind of like raising the spirit and raising the overall vibration, because there's a lot of like bottom feeder bullshit out there. Yeah,
I'm not sure if this is purely coincidental or not, but we, like I was talking about in the open, we did 5 new t-shirt designs today, and one of those shirts is not fully plagiarized. It's borrowed, but it's awake, not woke, because I think there is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's awake, not well. There's being woke is one thing, but being awake, which is, I mean, when I first saw the video for A Dream, that was the first thing I thought of. I'm like, that this is a gentleman who wrote this song who is awake, and I think that the fact that you talk about the places that you've traveled and the things you've experienced in those places, that is creating like the ultimate artist. That's taking the pieces from Nashville. I think there's a super important element there with the ability to write a song that does tell a story, because that gives it depth. Having the packaging in the outside, you know, the fancy candy wrapper that you get, the prettiness that you get out in LA. Hey, look at this pretty. That's
brand.
That's super important too, though, because that without that, it seems in these days it's hard to crack the shell of people's awareness, because they're just like, what? I mean, you know, you got 6 seconds, then they're done. They're moving. They're a gnat. Everybody's a gnat now. We're just moving on to the next thing. And then to go back to Cleveland and to find where the heart is. I mean, put it all into a package, and here's Big White Light, and a dream drops tomorrow.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, no, I think it feels like the timing feels really good.
Yeah.
I know with anything like this project is just something that is really very genuinely from the heart. So we're just looking for, the idea of bringing people together and hopefully being a positive force in an often dark world. And like, I think one thing that's really special about rock and rock fans is that rock is there's such active listenership,
right,
in the sense that, like, in rock, I'm always looking for my favorite new band. In rock and roll, it's like you hear a band, you hear one song, you're like, damn, that's really cool. I wonder what else they got. Whereas in other forms of other genres, though they're cool, sometimes it's a little more passive. It's kind of what we're being fed.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Whereas in rock and roll, I like the idea of digging and finding, I remember digging through my dad's records growing up,
Yeah, there's a certain element or a certain new way of discovery these days, which I think is it's great for the music fan who is that passion-based genre, which I have two of them that I believe in. I think country and rock are the two passion-based genres where you're like so gravitationally pulled to a song and an artist that you will go beyond just like, oh yeah, that's cool. You'll go, that was cool. Like, what's this motherfucker all about? What else does he have out there? And you start to, I won't say go down the rabbit hole to an extent, but you're like, you will go into, okay, artists related to, and all of a sudden you start this train of discovery where you start with this song that you hear and you're pulled into it. You follow the artist or the band, and then all of a sudden you're following into this whole new stream of music, this whole new discovery thing. It's how we flip through records now. It doesn't quite have that same smell. Remember that smell of flipping through records? It was like,
yeah, oh yeah, the old old vinyl in the cardboard, or
just like dusty and old, and then that
dusty as hell. Yeah, dusty.
What is this? But no, I think that's
it makes you sneeze. You're like, whoa,
yeah, this has to be good. But this Big White Light project, and I love the passion that you have behind it, because I think it adds in all those elements that you talked about with the places you've been, but the video. Like I said, I was blessed, and thank you for giving me a preview of it before the world has been privy to it. But it is so, it's light and darkness at the same time, if that's a thing. Like it's where what's that collider called they have over in Finland? Like where light and darkness meet. It's got all these like total tie-in elements to obviously the current state of things. It's got a real dark, and I don't want to give away a whole like forbidden. Well, it starts off and there's this room, and then there's this guy, and he's this fella, and there's this other guy, and there's this thing. I don't want to give that. I want to go piece by piece through it. But it is like I imagine when the first person turned on a television and they were just like had that look in their eye, like, what the fuck is this? And they were just drawn into it. And then for that 4 minutes and 3 seconds, however long the song is, you're just like you're in it. Like, again, one of those moments where the world around you is non-existent. You're just like, I am solely like entrenched in that's the lyrics, but the visual stimulant that goes on with it. Tell me about putting this together, because this was just like, again, I watched it again today just to get ready for this. I was just like, man, dude, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude. I'm happy to have shared it with you early, and glad you really resonate with it and vibe with it. I mean, we there's a lot of I think today it's like chaos, confusion, and compliance. There's a lot of chaos, which causes a lot of confusion, which inevitably will lead to the vast majority kind of surrendering and complying to whatever the message is being pushed. And I don't want to necessarily take a side, but the whole idea with Big White Light is the truth that we all know that maybe some of us aren't saying. It can't really hide in the light. It's almost like a magnifying glass or like a torch that you walk into a dark room with. I don't want, with this band, I don't want, I can't wait to hear what people think of it and how they interpret it. I don't necessarily want to ever give away what I'm saying, because I've always been pretty blunt as a person, pretty forward as a person, and not afraid to speak my mind. But with the project, like when we did the video, the guy who did the video with us, who wants to remain anonymous. That's how like humble he is. Nice. He's kind of outspoken as well, but he wants to remain anonymous to respect the project and kind of the message. Mm-hmm. And the idea is it's not myself or him or what, it's all of us together doing this thing, almost part of this, like, I don't want to call it a cult, but like kind of like a group, just a group, a collective, if you will. Yeah. And with each new person that comes in and has their own take to the story, like in the bridge, there are questions. Does life feel like a dream?
Yeah.
If life was a dream, would you wake up? You know, about consciousness. Instead of living in the front or living in the reaction or whatever you're being force-fed or told, can you think for yourself? And if you could think for yourself and you knew it was going to be dark in that tunnel, would you go into that tunnel? So I think now is it's one of the most confusing times. We don't even know like what we can say and get away with. Yeah. And we find ourselves actually self-censoring where, oh, I can't say that. So you've already taken away the thing that the place was founded on. So, you know, and the chorus was a line that I heard. The first line of the chorus is a line I heard. I gotta give probably, you know, George Carlin. Yeah. So you know, our country has owners, and it's not political though. I want to say that I'm a very, very proud American. I'm a patriot, and I am so grateful for this country and everything for it. Yeah. It's not even really, the band's not, it's not like a political thing. It's more of a way of trying to help people wake up and feel like they're not alone. I hope I answered that.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same page and same wavelength as you, I think, on a lot of these things. And, you know, there is a certain cloud that exists currently over not just, you know, our country, but over the world. And it's weird. It reminds me of the meme that's out there where there's a giant fire in the background, and then there's like some kid like swinging on a swing set, like just, you know, being oblivious to like, by the way, the world's on fire. We're like, oh, that's cool. Nothing to see here. You know, there seems like there's a lot of that going on. And no, I don't associate like this like a cult thing, but I think there is a movement of people who are, you know, trying to awaken in this, like, let's like try to clear all the bullshit that's going on and, like, you know, kick it to the side a little bit and try to see clearly, because there's a weird rationale that people have now, and it seems like amplified by social media and amplified by things that you see on the news, or however you get your information spoon-fed to you, or maybe you don't get it spoon-fed to you at all, you just spit it out. But there's a weird thing where there's not even open form dialogue about things anymore. There's one side, there's the other side, and here we are, like, we're not going to talk about this. Like, we're not going to conversate because we can't. This side can't say this thing. This side can't say this thing. We're like, so we're just hanging out. We're just gonna stand here and wait. How long are we gonna wait for this? But I like the movement is like, no, we're going to talk, and we're going to speak freely, and we're going to communicate with our fellow human beings and be like, we got to get some shit figured out. Like, let's talk.
Straight up. How many people, and that's really, really what I want to drive home, is how many people feel like voiceless. Oh, yeah. How many people feel like they don't, well, I can't say this and I can't say that, you know? And I think the vast majority, I think nothing is black and white. It's all gray. And that's what the video is about. Nothing is black and white. Yeah. It's gray. Like, I won't give away too much, but in the video you see where I'm looking at a white circle, and then I'm saying it's white, and then it's not, it's black, and then I'm looking at a black circle and saying it's white. Everything is gray. Yeah. And there's the line between, and the thing is, like, you know, the video essentially is just about brainwashing, but we don't realize that, like, and to quote George Carlin again, it's like, well, I can't even quote George because he just dropped truth bombs constantly. Yeah. But, like, you know, with George, it's like, the things that we end up being controlled by are not going to be things that they're not going to be forced upon us. We're going to sign up for them.
Right. Yeah. Willingly and freely and willingly.
100%. And that's the whole thing, is that, well, I want to be a part of, everyone's got this, everyone's got that. It's like, but you got to be really careful. Like, I have to be cognizant of the content that I'm consuming. Mm-hmm. And it can objectively, like social media, though it's an amazing way of getting a hold of people and reaching out to people, it's also a way, like, if you're a creative, as fellow creatives, we're antennas. We're antennas. So like I can get burned really easy. I almost feel that I get like these figurative burns. I'm like, you're burnable because you're catching fire every day.
Right.
You got to be careful what you consume. You know, there's a lot of vitriol. There's a lot of poison out there.
And I think the scary thing is, not especially, but I would say even for creatives or anybody who's trying to maintain a real sense of forward momentum or being present, all that stuff, is it's so easy to slip on the slope and fall down the hole and find yourself doing this. And again, it's comparable to when I talk about being in a creative space or being in the chair, as you said. When you're in that chair and time doesn't exist, you can fall into that zombie mode of consuming things to a point where there's so much negativity going in that you don't even feel it anymore.
You're numb.
And when that happens, that's not a good space to be in. When you're like, oh yeah, that's just how it is. Like, you need to reconnect with your emotions here and realize that you shouldn't be feeding yourself this, personally taking the spoon and digging in and going, this is a good chunk of bullshit. I'm going to go ahead and shove this right on in. Have this with my Cheerios in the morning. But to be able to put the fork down or put the spoon down and go, there's got to be something better I can be doing with my life or doing with my time or being present in this moment with whoever.
It's almost Stockholm syndrome where you fall in love with your captor too, though.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like the whole other thing, it's almost like, well, but what is life like without it? And that's why I'm so appreciative of that's why you were talking about in the beginning, like exercise is as strange as that is, like when the sun's out, oh my God, what a difference. It only takes, it takes 10, 15 minutes. You get out and you go, okay, everything I thought I was seeing is not necessarily like, it pulls me from the present moment, Yeah.
And the importance of that, the value of that gets lost inside the walls of a house or inside the walls of a building because you trap yourself in there. And whether that's, on your social media or doing whatever else, and you forget the beauty that exists outside and the smell of fresh air and how much clarity I get. Obviously I'm a runner and you're a guy that is running and hitting the gym and doing all the things, but that feeling of going into a workout or going into starting a run and having a head full of bullshit and having a head full of clutter and a head full of just like angst and anger and anxiety and all that stuff. And you're just like, God. But that little asshole voice inside of you is like, go work out, go do something. And you go and do it. And all of a sudden that voice becomes the predominant one, is like, see, I told you, if you did this, all the bullshit, all the stuff that was cluttering up the brain was going to go away. And then you're like, why was I so anxiety ridden? Or why was I so angry when I started this run or started this workout and I got done? I'm like, I feel like $1 million. I'm going to go like create something and go do something positive and be a better human being. People forget that moment, that hour or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half hour, however long you put into a workout. The benefit of that lasts almost the day.
It affects
almost the day.
Everything. It affects for me. It's mostly mental. It affects your mental. It affects your body. It affects what you put in your body after the workout. Yeah. It incentivizes. For me, it's kind of an incentivizer, and I really like to hit it in the morning if I can. And then I've been getting back into I'll do a morning thing and then go out there and like hit a hill or like get a hike in or do jump roping's awesome. Like for me, I love it because I can do it anywhere. It's a big deal, man. And I think it's really cool though. I think we're in a time where it's like people are hungrier and hungrier for like truth.
Yeah.
Truth. And it's almost like, I love the idea of something that is almost and not to sound cliche or like cheesy, but like a counterculture where actually counterculture before it was like cool to be a counterculture, not in the sense that like grunge came.
Right.
I just mean literally counterculture. Are you tired of hearing the same bullshit? You know what I mean? Do you think there's something better? And do you want to be a positive force for others? And use music, because music is almost like a love weapon. It's like a weapon of love. You know what I mean? It's pretty incredible. No,
I think music is the conduit for all things positive, and depending on how you're directing that energy. And that's what I love about you and about Big White Light and the message that you've told to me and that you've now, you've expressed to everybody that's watching and everybody that will watch this, is that if the conduit has a deeper message, this goes back to, we talked about depth in songwriting and having things that aren't on the surface, that aren't just, I mean, you know, there's songs out there that you're like, wow, that's really about nothing at all. That's just about, it's got a great beat and you can dance to it, and they'll play it at the clubs, and the ladies love it, and it'll be a great TikTok sensation, and that's great. That guy,
what you get is what you get.
Yeah,
all surface, no substance,
yeah,
right?
Nothing. Yeah. But I think when that conduit is something that has depth and has value and has a positive spin on it and it has all these great attributes to it, like when you connect yourself to something like that, the output becomes even greater positivity, even greater, you know, wanting to know more, wanting to be, you know, more informed and know more truth, because you have this, there's almost a soundtrack to that journey that you go on, where you're like, yeah, like this is in my earbuds or in my headphones when I'm going and doing something that's creating a better me, or creating a better place, or creating a better space and helping the people around me. Because that's the ultimate effect too, is that you get that stuff into your blood, and the people that surround you, the ones that want to be raised up and the ones that want to have that big white light, if you will, to use a phrase that's on my mind. Those people will want to be like, damn, like what do you got going on? Like what's putting you on this different level? And the ones that want nothing to do with it and think like why are you so like happy or positive or like, those people will naturally fade into the distance. And realizing that that's okay is huge.
Well, straight up, yeah. And like my friend Alex and I talk about this all the time. He's always talking about an upward spiral. Mm. It's almost like instead of a downward spiral, this idea of an upward spiral. And the truth is too, like with positivity and stuff, like big white light, and like I think things in general is like life is very difficult. Like there's a lot of hardship, but it's through those hardships, it's through those hardships and the adversity that makes, in my opinion, makes the thing worth living. It's like, can you survive the tests? And like what's cool about this project is like it's very like thematic. So even though we're doing singles right now, we have like 4 or 5 singles ready to go, right. And then we're going to be releasing a single every month. But like the idea is like it's the theme. It's almost like you've heard it. It's progressive and heavy, but it also has like psych elements of like Pink Floyd. I was like, what if I could take a little Dream Theater, a little Deftones, a little Pink Floyd, whatever, like a little sprinkles, and then do my own thing. But like, it's almost a concept. So as you hear them come out, you'll hear that there's almost a narration. Dream doesn't have it, but the rest of them have actual narrations that connect them. So it's almost like it's like a big free flowing concept record on Waking Up. And the art, the same guy who did the video did the art. The art goes from white to black, which is like awake to asleep.
Right.
It's it's kind of all connected, but I grew up loving, like I fucking loved Genesis. I love Pink Floyd. I love Rush. I love Dream Theater. And I was never heavy enough to be like the metal kid. Right. And I was never fully nerded out, though I'm pretty much a nerd. I was never fully nerded out in like the prog scene, because I was making pretty heavy music, you know? Right, yeah. So now I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to lean into the weirdness. I'm going to lean into the things that make me different instead of trying to make people like it. I'm just going to lean into the weirdness, basically. No,
I think that's where great things happen, when you are doing the things that like you're 100% fucking like, this is who I am. This is where I'm at. This is my stories to tell. This is, you know, when it's not, again, we talked about force feeding. If it's not like, okay, whether it's done by yourself or done by, you know, outside influences, I probably should maybe get a little more over this direction, you know, maybe a little less of this, because this could put people off in this direction. But when you're just like, fuck it, I'm throwing in this, and I'm going to have a little bit of this, and then we're going to make the artwork fit with everything, like to have that kind of control over things and just be like, that's a good space to be in for you and your, you know, headspace. It's to be like, this is just here. I'm going to throw it out there. This is me, and fuck it if you don't like it.
I mean, you're not going to be everything to everybody. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think it's just about like, what are you leaving? Like what, you know, can you make a mark, and like, or what's our contribution? It's back to the contribution. Like, can I contribute, you know?
Yeah, I think so. And if you analyze that, if you look at your you take a step back, which is I know tough for a lot of folks to do, to sit up on top of the hill and kind of look down on your existence and be like what is it that I bring? Like, what is I'm here? What am I giving? What am I bringing? In goodness to the world? Am I bringing a negativity to the world? If you can trying to psychoanalyze yourself, like, where am I at as far as my place on planet Earth or in this realm or whatever? And if you can take an analysis of that and go, man, I look at myself down here doing good things, doing positive things, doing things I love doing and I'm passionate about, and I see the effect it has on other people around me. Like, I need to be more in this space and maybe less over here, whether that's being with the crowd, because everybody's, we're all vying for likes and fucking, shares and views and all that stuff. I want to be with that hip crowd. I want to be in with this. So I'm not, looked at as an outsider. And then there's the other thing where it's, negative, bad, making poor choices, lying, all that shit. Like, if you can look at yourself as a whole and go, oh man, this is the wheelhouse, man. This is when I swing for the fences here, I'm knocking shit out of the park. And I think it sounds like that's where you're at with Big White Light, and you're just fucking killing it, man. Just killing it.
Yeah. I mean, it feels really good, and hope, you never know what, you have no idea what people will hear, right. When they hear it. Everyone has their own interpretation. Like, the art's not done until the audience gets it, and then they make a decision. Mm-hmm. And everyone's got a different kind of subjective take. 100%. But what is true is, what I love about certain bands, there are bands where I can only listen to, if I want to hear Soundgarden, there's only one band that I can listen to. If I want Deftones, there's only one band. Right. And I think that maybe that's back to a contribution. It's trying to aim for something where it's this is a thing, mm-hmm. instead of, you know what I mean? Right. Instead of something that's obviously derivative, Yeah.
It falls into a pile of all the others that are in that same thing. There's not one direction. It's,
right. There is one Meshuggah.
There's one Meshuggah. There's only one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't. It's just greatness, and it's they're just their own unbelievable cosmic force. You know what I mean? Same with Gojira, same with Deftones. I don't know. I'm just spitting out my favorite bands, but you know what I mean.
Name dropping all my favorites. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know if you listen to stuff like that. No, that gnarly.
That's the great thing about detaching myself from radio 2 years ago after 20 years in the business is being able to be completely 100% free on the music that I listen to, because as you know, music isn't I'm this all the time. I'm 100% Gojira every day of the week. That dude probably needs to chill out a little more. But little break once, Friday night, smoke a bowl, do something, chill out. But you can have a Gojira day. You can have a Gojira moment. You can have, fucking Alison Krauss day. You can ebb and flow and do all these things. That's the great thing about never pigeonholing yourself into I am a fan of this specific thing and everything else sucks, is if you're just man, I felt that. And that could be a country song, that could be a silly pop song that you're again, we talked about is all on the surface, but you're it made me get up and jam and dance and do all the silly things that normally I don't do in public. But you can go through all these things, and that is again, we talked about the music being a conduit. That's the great thing about it, is if you're feeling in a certain mood and that soundtrack is there, dude, embrace that shit. Just plug in and embrace it.
Oh yeah, great music. I mean, if anything, it's it's an escape. It's a hit of dopamine, Yeah. And I think just as a writer, I can respect anything. It's not, a great song is a great song. I don't think it matters what lane it's in for radio, or you know what I mean, where it goes.
100%. A Dream drops tomorrow. Where is it going to be? What is it going out at midnight? Is that the plan, or is it a 7 a.m. thing? When is it going to be available so these people who are crawling on here can find it?
Hell yeah! So A Dream, Big White Light's first single will drop tomorrow, or at midnight. So you'll be able to get it on all streaming services there. And our website, we're not going to launch it yet because it's already up and ready to go, but we're not going to release it until tomorrow. But in order to find us, you can find us at Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Big White Light. So all of them are facebook.com/Big White Light. We got all of those. So probably the easiest would be Instagram at Big White Light. And from there, tomorrow morning, the music video will premiere on our YouTube. So you can watch it. We'll all be watching it at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. You'll be able to premiere the video. And it's going to get us set up on putting a song out every month this summer, and then hopefully doing a couple shows, a couple Midwest shows. So we're excited.
That's awesome, man. I was going to ask you about live music, but it's good to hear that's something that's being discussed and on the horizon because, shit, man, I'd love to come and see you throw down a show, man.
Dude, it'd be incredible, man. We'll have you out and maybe have you up for a tune.
I don't know if you want to. I'll bust out my best Meshuggah, and it'll be amazing.
Dude,
Okay, I'm good now. I'm done. I'm gonna go back in the back and hang out. But so definitely, the song "A Dream" again drops tomorrow at midnight tonight. So go and listen to it. The video tomorrow 9 a.m. Eastern, so that's 8 a.m. Central. I can't wait, man. I can't for people to fucking hear this and see this, and I've enjoyed listening to it on repeat. You know, put it on my phone and just let it jam while I'm out running and stuff. So congratulations, man. I know it's got to feel good to go through the process you talked about when the writing and then putting the video together and finding the concept that it is, and now being able to unleash it on the world. You got to be feeling just fucking superb about the next 24 hours and beyond.
Yeah, we feel really good about it. And like I said, always, Coop, I really appreciate you. Really grateful to be on the show. We'll have to get on with Greg and Dylan soon. And
I feel like
we're just
that's gonna be a giant shit show, and I can't wait for it to happen. I'm so looking forward to it.
We got to do a huge party. That'll be a big blast. We'll get everyone out there from the socials. And yeah, man, we're just excited to start building this and do the thing and find our devoted base, you know. And it's it'll be a slow grind, but we're just excited to get out there and fucking rip live, you know.
Awesome, brother. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything and for the music and for the conversation and the friendship. It's been a blast, always, man. Let's we'll be in touch very soon, and can't wait to hear the song drop tomorrow, man.
Hell yeah, love you, bro. Have a great day,
man. Take care of yourself. Joey A on the show.
Later, bro.
Big White Light tomorrow, midnight. Stay up late. Joe drops, man. Dropping that song at midnight. A Dream, Big White Light, and the video tomorrow morning. I'm telling you, I watched it again, then I watched it again. Whew, man, just like I said, the first time somebody ever turned on a television and it worked, you're just enthralled, like you're fucking in it. It's amazing. So very cool stuff. Joey A, Big White Light. Go follow them on all the socials, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and be ready for that song coming out tomorrow. And another one every month, all summer. Good stuff. Thank you to everybody who's jumping in on the comments here. Really appreciate it. See if we can sneak some of these on here. What's up, Chris? Chris Rubio in the house. Chris is a stand-up comedian from Los Angeles. Awesome. Hell yeah, man. Chris, let's get you on the show. Why not? Jody had to take a call, but she's back. She's back. Good to see you, Jody. Lean into the weirdness. Absolutely. Lean into the weirdness. That is from Paul Orlandi. Paul says lean into the weirdness. Hang on. That's going on a shirt. Coopervilleclothing.com. Look for the lean into the weirdness. That's going on a shirt. I'm gonna put that in my notes. I'll put that in my notes. Lean into the weirdness. In fact, I better write it down, because if I don't write it down, this is what happens. That shit is gone. So we're gonna lean into the weirdness. There we go. Boom, pow. Lean into the weirdness. Go to camera 3. This has been great. Thank you all for joining. Thank you to Joey A for being a part of the show today. It's been great. A Dream drops tomorrow. Actually, it drops in approximately 6 hours and 6 minutes. Go listen to it. Listen everywhere. Paul wants to pre-order a shirt. I'll get it designed, Paul. Like the page on Facebook, and we'll make sure that you're notified when we get that. Lean into the weirdness. The shirt line is coming out. We're making it happen, people. I love it. Credit to Paul Orlandi, for dropping the hint. I love it, man. Coopervilleclothing.com and CaptainCoops.com for all my stuff. The Patreon link is in the header for wherever we're broadcasting right now. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, wherever you are following, wherever you're watching. First and foremost, thank you. Please subscribe. Please make sure you hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time that we jump back on. Follow us on the socials. We'll get that link page up. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic night. We will see you. Oh, that's not it. That's it. There it is. All those links. Instagram, Cooperville Live. Discord, at No Limit Cooper. Twitch, Cooperville Live. Facebook, Cooperville Live. At No Limit Cooper _ on Twitter. Cooperville Live on YouTube. Muchos gracias. Y'all have a fabulous night. We're back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central, right here on all the channels. Be a fantastic show. Hope y'all are well. Joe, thank you for being a part of the show today. Love you, man. Big white light taking over the world. Thank y'all so much. There we go.